Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Welcome everybody to a UPNA NBF special. So UPNA, if you don't know about it, is the Association for Pakistani Physicians of North America. And this was Suhaib's idea. Come here, set up a booth. Now Uthman is here, Oz is here, the Wizard of Oz is here. All of his relatives are here, being doctors, hanging out with other DC doctors. So it's quite the vibe here. Like, sister, are you responsible for all this humming in the background? Or is that the other booth? It's the other booth. Are we going to have humming for 3 days straight?
I have no idea.
We got a lobby to pause that humming. This guy's got humming in the background, right?
You could probably question him.
Okay, I'm going to talk to him because I'm like two hours from an Excedrin from that humming. Okay? SubhanAllah. I want to talk to you about an ayah from the Quran. A brother asked me if there were ever to be a Quran. Really, it should be a recitation. The word Quran here, وَلَوْ أَنَّ قُرْآنًا سُيِّرَتْ بِهِ الْجِبَالُ. If there would ever be a recitation in which mountains could be moved, the earth shattered, or the dead made to speak, but everything is truly in Allah's hands. Do the believers not realize that if God had so willed, He could have guided all mankind? As for the disbelievers, because of their misdeeds, disaster will not cease to afflict them, or fall close to their homes until Allah's promise is fulfilled. So what does all this mean? The answer to this is that the Quraysh, they challenged the Prophet ﷺ. And they said, "Oh Muhammad, Sayyidina Dawood, he could manipulate the mountains," meaning that Sayyidina Dawood, when he recites the Quran, the Zabur, the mountains bellow with him. Okay. أو قطعت به الأرض. Other prophets, they came and earthquakes struck. And Prophet Isa resurrected the dead. So if this is all easy for Allah, recite some verses and make this happen, then we'll believe in you. What does Allah say? Allah says, if there was to be any recitation, that would do all these things, it would be the Quran. Now, where is the wording, it would be the Quran? That's something called hadf. And as you recite the Quran, what you need to understand is there's a concept called hadf. And hadf means to omit something, omission. It means that it's left blank. It's understood that that's what the meaning is. There's two hadf in this. The first hadf is that if there was any recitation that could do this, it's the Quran. And the other hadf is, but Allah will not do this. Allah will not, at your whims, break mountains, move mountains, resurrect dead. Why? Because you're not truly sincere. You're not truly sincere. The mu'jizat, the miracles of prophets, when they come, there is no record for them being 100% causes of people entering Islam. And now, how does that relate to us? People all the time want to convince somebody, and they say, if only Allah would just give us something, show them something. These proofs wouldn't work. And the proof is that when Prophet Isa resurrected the dead, the kuffar of his time still didn't believe. And the kuffar of his time were actually monotheists. But if you reject a messenger of Allah, your monotheism is not belief. Iblis was a monotheist. He believed in one God. But his rejection of Adam wasn't sufficient. It made him a kafir. He is a kafir. Okay? So kufr, remember, is not nullified by monotheism. Kufr, disbelief, is purified by believing in Allah and His messengers. And everything that they come with that is repeated often and crystal clear, primarily the Day of Judgment. Our lives will change, okay, when Yawm al-Qiyamah is put right in front of our eyes. Your mood will change. Everything will change when you realize this hayat ad-dunya is not really what I should be fighting for. Not only that, it's that This world, why is it cause of frustration and depression? It's because it's finite and it's fleeting. It's constantly leaving us. This hayat dunya, Uthman, everything good? Oh, hey, is our audio good? I just want to double check while I'm talking here, make sure audio is good. Let me open it up on the iPad before I continue. Okay, let's check it out because our executive producer, the Nothing But Facts. Oh, look at Uthman here. Look at. Can we get a front spot? Let me turn like this. I like to face the front. All right. Let me face front here. Ah, that's way better. Facing front. I like to face the camera directly. Okay. And now we got this beautiful banner to my right. And we got our table, which is really good, to my left. And Amna is saying there's so much background noise. Yeah, because we're here. It's a conference. It's we're in the bazaar of a conference. Let's see how they could hear. It's a conference. Yeah, you can still hear. But the background noise gives it a little bit of a ambiance, right, Uthman? Yeah. Hey, do you guys know Uthman? Come and show yourself. Come and bring a chair right here, but you need a mic if you're going to talk. So, when a person puts Yawm al-Qiyamah front and center, why do they get stress relief? Number one, it's a certainty. Number two, it's not mixed. Actually, sit there so that you're not blocking the Darul Fath flow. Yawm al-Qiyamah is a certainty. It's not, there you go, look at Oz. Sitting there like a future ED of an institute. All right. So why can I could just lift this up a little bit. Here, how's that? Get Oz a mic. Man, Omar, you get double mics? Omar's a true executive producer now. Let's get back to the subject. Putting akhirah in front of us. Number one, Yawm al-Qiyamah is guaranteed. The paradise is a place that's fixed. It's guaranteed that we're going to go to the afterlife. Number two, there's no the resources there are not finite. There will not be an end. Nobody will come on Yawm al-Qiyamah or in paradise and say, "Hey, where's all the food? Or where are all the homes? Where's the space?" There's no limit. That's why it's number three. Paradise is not an admixture of good and bad. It's not a place where, like this world, which is a mix of good and bad. The best thing that you can get and imagine of pleasures of this life has an underbelly and an after effect that is nasty and miserable. That's a fact. There's no such thing as 100% purity, goodness in this world. It's always mixed. And even if it did exist, it must come to an end. Everything that exists in this life has an end. Everything that exists in life is changing. If you focus on this life, you will get stress. But if your mind and your heart is on the next life, you will get relief. For the reasons I'm telling you. In this life, number one, it's not guaranteed. Number two, it's finite. Even if someone guaranteed it and gave it to you, it has an end in sight. Number three, it's always mixed. There is no such thing as pure pleasure, pure happiness. It's always mixed. Number four, you yourself, the locus of pleasure, your body, your mind, your eyes, they're always decreasing in health, in beauty. Nothing to me is more depressing than modeling. Because their peak is between 20 and 40. Once a model passes 40, it's all downhill. This must be the most depressing thing. Because you go from being the number one peak of desirability and getting that attention. If you get your highs from that attention, oh, you're in trouble. Because now, after 40, you'll see how quickly everyone walks away. And that's why these models, unless they have depth, they get depressed. Let's talk about the wealthy. The wealthy, by the time they make their wealth, now the locus or the mechanism that enjoys pleasures is dying out. And you see the wealthy guy suddenly stop eating because he's gaining too much weight. He's looking ugly. His metabolism decreases. So this hayatul dunya, when we focus on it, it just produces stress and depression. And the one who's fooled by it and given the crack and the cocaine of dunya, he's the one you should sympathize with most. But the one who's deprived of it early learns about it, its realities, early on, and can build for the future. Imagine I tell you, Othman, you got a mic? Mm-hmm. So plug it in. Put it on your shirt. Oh, your shirt better. Yeah. The one who, imagine there is two companies. One company looks great, like Atari. You remember Atari?
Yeah.
It looks great. You want to get in on this company. You're all pumped. You put all your money in this company. The other company is Apple. A scrappy, dirty, filthy, you know, he was so dirty. Rude, crazy employee in Atari who was worthy of firing Steve Jobs. You know how dirty he was?
Yeah.
To cool down in the summer, he used to put his feet in the toilet.
Oh, God.
The guy used to not bathe. He had this disbelief in bathing that he learned in India.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't bathe for weeks.
Wow.
And he would go on crazy diets like celery only or carrots only that would produce a sweat in him that was nasty.
Yeah.
People would literally say the guy smells bad. He was one of the dirtiest dudes. Anyway, he's worthy of firing and kicking to the curb. But somebody knows the future comes and tells you, invest your money in this guy, you'd never believe him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a loss. And you would suffer losses for the first 10 years. But if I put all my money in Atari, this guy from the future, he says, don't put your money in Atari. When Atari, I'll get rich because Atari went through the roof. But then it crashed.
Yeah.
So messengers are like this. They're coming to us. Allah shows them the future. They have knowledge of the future. Allah shows it to them. And they're telling us what you think is a great investment that's going to make you happy is actually going to crash. And what you think is not a great investment, such as zuhud, asceticism, going without the dunya, such as spending your time thinking about akhirah, fasting, praying at night, giving charity, and eschewing or going without, avoiding, ignoring the pleasures of this life. And even if you dabble in it physically and you're involved in it, your heart's not. I mean, we all are. Look at us. We're living in the dunya. But your heart should be disconnected from it. Most people won't believe him. So to profit is to believe in this messenger from the future who's telling us, Atari, don't invest in it and invest in this guy, this rotten, dirty, rude creature called Steve Jobs. He started being normal later after he got married. So you have to trust that messenger. And to the degree that you trust that messenger, obey him, follow him, and invest as he tells you to invest, you're going to profit. Speak it.
You want to talk about Darul Fath and what we're doing here, or have we already
Tell them
gone
what we're
over
doing here.
Okay.
Why not?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi sallam. So this is the first booth, or the first outreach program that we've ever done for Darul Fath. And I think that this represents the next stage of what we're trying to accomplish here.
100%.
Which is, for the past 2 or 3 years, we've been working on Darul Fath almost like a startup. And we've been working in stealth mode, where if you know, you know. And if you don't know, where we haven't been putting in any effort or any work in doing outreach aside from our local community because we wanted to get really strong internally first.
Yep.
And we wanted to figure out what exactly is our cadence when it comes to who we are, what our mission is, what our vision is, and what are we really trying to accomplish
100%.
in an organization like this. And this was something that was really surprising to me because, stepping into this role when we started Darul Fath over 3 years ago, I thought that it was really straightforward. That, we're going to open up a college or a madrasa, and it's, for higher Islamic learning. And I never expected that people have so many questions about what is it that I thought were foregone conclusions. Like, they kept asking this question, what is Darul Fath?
Subhanallah.
And I would be like, Darul Fath is like, isn't it self-explanatory? It's the next step. And what is your mission? What is your, what kind of students are you producing? What is your end result? And when you come from a very tasawwuf background, where everything is that you put it into the hands of Allah, and you're not entirely sure what direction that you're going to be going in an organization. We never thought that an organization like this was going to go in this particular direction. But people have these kind of questions of what exactly is the outcome? What are you guys trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
And so as time progressed, we didn't have the answers to these type of questions in the beginning. 3 years later, though, we found that we've really found our cadence. We've really found what exactly is our mission. What are we trying to produce? And in the beginning, when we started Darul Fath, we wanted to do everything when it came to Islamic knowledge.
Yeah.
We wanted to be any type of Islamic knowledge that was out there. We wanted to integrate it into our curriculum, into our program. But what we came to realize is that people, they don't actually like that. They like specialization.
I learned that too. With the other programs that we're doing. So what are we going to specialize in?
What we want to specialize in is, what sets us apart is the fact that we're trying to be a grassroots organization where we're trying to stay true to the foundations of the religion and how Islam has been taught from generation to generation to generation. Which is this idea that if you want to be devoted to Allah Ta'ala, then the best way of doing that is by more knowledge. And the way that we get that knowledge is from the inheritors of the Prophet ﷺ and studying at their feet. And we don't want to change anything. And we want to go into creating an institution that will last without having all of this baggage that colonialism of westernization brought with us as well.
Assalamu alaikum.
So Dr. Shadee, what's the situation now?
The situation?
Yeah, what's
Say salam to all the people on YouTube. Because you're on YouTube.
Here. You want to come in?
Yeah, look at this smooth doctor coming. Here we go. This is basically why we're here in Apna. We're here to fleece physicians like yourself.
No. So I'm not a physician at all.
Oh, you're another fleecer.
I'm not a fleecer nor a physician. I'm here with good intentions, here to meet good people, just like our mentor and Sheikh over here, Dr. Shadee. And those of you who don't know Dr. Shadee is a legend in New Jersey and in other parts of the country.
I know, may Allah make it so.
And it's an honor to be here. But I don't want to take any more of time. I'm sure you have useful things to say. I don't have anything useful to say beyond what I already did. So over to you, my friend. Thank you, Dr. Shadee.
The summary of Apna is smooth-looking brothers like this. Of course, he's from New Jersey. We know him very well. MashaAllah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Where's your table, by the way?
The table is over there. I'm going to personally come in and take you over there. And
yeah, what do you have? Caps? What am I getting from your table?
You name it, sir. You name it.
Gotcha.
Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Uthman is very much focused on building the structure of Apna. By the way, why don't you put the donation link there? Yeah, on the stream, because we're here mainly for that. But really, just to tell people what it is. But Uthman is focused on that. Now, my role is the integration of Darul Fath into the other things we do. That's what I feel is what's unique about Darul Fath, because it's an organization that's integrated into real life, which is through ultimately a couple things, which is number one, the local masjid, which is NBIC, and New Brunswick Islamic Center. Number two, it's the soup kitchen. And there are these dotted lines between each organization. So we want students to be specializing inside Darul Fath, but their peripheral vision will have reality around it. Books are not reality, theory. But outside of it is the local, well, what do I mean by the local masjid? Regular people just walking up to you to talk. Youth work. And the soup kitchen is, they're number one, 100% non-Muslim, but also very poor people. And that, what we want for that is not to distract the student.
Yeah.
But we want in his peripheral vision constantly to be a reflection of reality.
Yeah.
And that's the key, is a reflection of reality to be in the peripheral vision so that this student is not in an ivory tower.
Yeah. One really interesting thing that we see as this initiative and this project has grown is because of the fact that we started from the lowest level first, which is that you have students that are coming into Darul Fath who have actually been part of this vision of Safina society for many, many years now. That you have students that were starting from next gen, from the time that they're 5 or 6 years old, who are now in college and they're Darul Fath students, and they're integrated into the community. The community knows them, and if they go on to study in DF, and when they come out and they graduate and they become leaders in the community, this is not like a foreign implant or a transplant of somewhere, you know, from some university or something.
Exactly, that's the key. That's what communities in the long term cannot have anymore.
Right.
All of our countries, Islamic countries in their history, their shuyukh were never transplants.
Yes.
Their shuyukh always came from within. And that's the key. They got to come from within.
And what we see is that this is a really big difference between the Western concept of knowledge and education and the Islamic concept of education, which is that when someone, you know, we have this mentality that we really want to break in the Muslim community, which is that the more educated someone becomes, the more out of touch they become with the needs of their community.
100%.
And you know, one reason on why we selected UPNA is you know, for our first debut of an outreach program like this, is because this is something that we find really prevalent, for example, in the Pakistani community, which is that this idea that the more you go into knowledge, the more you go into Islam, you become a Maulvi. When you become a Maulvi, what happens is that you have become divorced from the needs of the regular people. And people have this type of resentment towards knowledge and Islam because there's this perception that the more you become educated, and this comes from westernization, from Western academia. This idea of an ivory tower doesn't exist. For example, Sheikh Jamal came on the live stream previously, and that was like the last live stream that you did, right? On Wednesday or Thursday. And he spoke about Imam Dardir. And Imam Dardir is a perfect example of someone who had mastered all of the Islamic sciences, who had reached the highest level of all of the Islamic sciences. You know, that would be the equivalent of someone who not only has a PhD, but did like multiple post-grad, you know, specializations after that in every field in in the Islamic tradition. And yet Imam Dardir was a man of the people. He was someone that he had so much influence over the people that the Sultan would go and ask Imam Dardir for permission to do things. Imam Dardir was so powerful and that people would come to him for judgments. He had a jail in his own house.
Allahu Akbar. I want one.
Yeah. So
did he have whips and lashes?
I would imagine that, you know, the people gave him power because despite the fact that he was so specialized and he had so much knowledge, that knowledge actually translated to something, which is exactly what we want. And it's a very simple principle that we see that the mashayikh have given us. That what should I teach? Teach what you know. This was something that Sheikh al-Maghili said when you went to him, which is, what do I teach? Just teach what you know. And we find the fruits of that are emerging today. For example, at La Cocina, we have a Darul Fath student who is teaching Maliki fiqh.
That is one of the best, that's the exact purpose of Darul Fath.
Exactly.
He's teaching Maliki fiqh, going from Arabic to Spanish, right?
And he didn't know Spanish before that. He learned Spanish.
And he didn't know Arabic before Darul Fath.
And he didn't know Arabic before that either. And he didn't know Maliki fiqh or anything. He came into the program And during the time that he was an undergrad, he became solid and well-versed in the Islamic sciences to a certain level.
Yeah.
And now, and what he found was his true calling is in service.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to find, especially with a set of programs that are so diverse, that we have this entire community that we have, that we find that different people, they're drawn to different things. And Imam Malik said this, right? That
100%.
these are just waridat that Allah gives to different people. Not everyone is going to get the same thing. So we find from our students at Darul Fath, some of them really gravitate towards community service.
Yeah.
Others, for example, they gravitate towards more scholarship, that they want to go deeper and deeper into the text and become the future thinkers of Islam. Others want to go into da'wah.
Not everyone has to be a people person.
Exactly.
And if you did, no one would have time to think. Like Sheikh al-Maghidi said when he was asked about a book, and he said he didn't know about it. And he said, if I spend my time reading in the library, who's going to teach the people?
Yeah.
So not everyone has to be a people person.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I want to say about academia. What is the difference between Islamic scholarship and academia? There's a huge difference, to the point that I think that certain aspects of academia are a major innovation that have to be rejected in Islam, and by the Muslims. And what I mean by that is the divorcement, if that's a word, the divorce of knowledge from conviction and action.
Yeah.
Such that when in academic studies, let's say theology, the goal is stated to just put knowledge out there. The stated intention of Islamic scholarship, or a Muslim studying theology, is to know what Allah wants us to believe, and to believe it and spread it. When we study the law in academia, how would they study Sharia? Let's look at everything and bring the corpus of knowledge and the library, a thesis that hasn't existed before. Let's discover a manuscript or something and write about it and ask really neat questions about it and see where the tensions are between this and politics and what have you, and society. That is not the stated intention of a Muslim. The Muslim stated intention of studying the Sharia to know how does Allah want me to act, how does He want me to pray, and to do it, to act upon it, and to teach other people that. So these are the divorce between knowledge and action, belief, and love. No academic goes in to say, today we're going to look at the 99 names with the expressed intent of increasing our love for Allah. That divorce, to me, is the biggest innovation and bid'ah that has come upon scholarship. The fact that any Muslim will accept such a thing. I don't think Islamic colleges do that. Islamic colleges are expressly devotional, from what I understand. Like you go to Wise in Jordan, Al-Azhar in Egypt, the purpose is taqwa. It's not to bring a thesis that no one's ever seen before, right?
Yeah.
So to me, this is one of the reasons why when I was doing my PhD, I did the bare bone minimum of exposure to these people, because I believed that if you mingle with these people too much, you're actually going to catch their disease. And your devotion, your purpose, your intent, and your action will all diminish. They will all diminish. They will go away. And you'll become a munafiq. Right? So that's what you become, a munafiq. Someone with a lot of knowledge, but no action. When I say munafiq, I don't mean the munafiq of theology, of belief. I mean the munafiq of action. Munafiq of belief, we don't know. But munafiq of action, yeah. You have knowledge, you don't act upon it. So that's one of the things we're trying to do, and why we have our own institution here.
And what's really different that we see about our tradition versus the other, the Islamic tradition, versus the Western tradition, is this idea of what is the purpose of this knowledge. So whenever we start a subject, like this is something that Imam al-Makhari, he has lines that we talk about, right? إِنَّ مَبَادِيَ كُلِّ فَنٍ عَشَرَ الْحَدُّ وَالْمَوْضُوعُ ثُمَّ الثَّمَرَ ونسبة وفضله والواضع والاسم والاستمداد حكم الشارع مسائل والبعض بالبعض اكتفى ومن درى الجميع حاز الشرف.
Explanation.
These lines over here are something that whenever we start a new text, Imam al-Makhari is giving 10 principles behind why we're studying a text, why we're studying a particular science, which is something that's really different than any other, you never find this in academia, you never even find this in primary education these days, which is this idea that what is the end result of what we're studying. So in Islamic science, we have 10 principles that whenever we're starting a science, we want to know. First of all, what is the definition of the science? What does it include and what are its subjects of inquiry, which is its subject matter? Then you have what's its thamara. And this is really important because this is something that separates Western inquiry from our inquiry, which is that when we look at it, when we look at various sciences, we're asking the question, how is this going to benefit me? So, you have in like Western academia, you'll find like the craziest PhD and specializations and majors and things like that on the most random things. And why are they doing it? They really can't give you an answer on, like people like that PhD who like did her entire PhD on like smells and the relationship of smells with colonization, the sense of smell with colonization. We're like, what's the benefit of something like that?
The only people who have a point are the hard sciences.
Yeah.
Because the pharmaceutical, biology, whatever, those researches are strictly devoted, dedicated to producing a medicine.
Right.
To benefiting people.
Right.
That's why those are legit.
Yeah.
All these soft sciences, you ask, like, he's listing the 10. You got the 10, right? Mm-hmm. The first is the definition. Number 2, what is the point? What's the benefit? What's the value? The soft sciences, I don't know if they could tell you that. Maybe history, so we know what happened. There, I could get that. But most of the Islamic studies PhD, what was the point of this 7 years?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Exactly. And so when you look at the Islamic sciences, when you sit, this was something that was very transformative for me. And this was actually one of the tensions that were there when I took a gap year. And during that gap year, I was studying essentially full-time at Darul Fath. Before Darul Fath was really what it became today. But I started studying when we founded the organization in 2022. And then after that, I had a year, which I did that nearly full-time, augmented by online classes. And I went to Egypt and studied for a little bit over there as well. Then when I came back and I entered into medical school, this was something very shocking for me because they threw 15, 16 different subjects at us and they wouldn't even tell us what is the subject matter of the topic that we're studying. We had, all these different systems that we were studying, pathology and anatomy and this and that. And even the lecturer and the experts could not give a proper definition of what's included in the science and what's not included in the science. And they really couldn't even tell you with a concrete definition of what exactly is the benefit. How is this going to, and I wasn't asking my benefit in the next life. I was just asking, how is this going to plug in into my medical career? What am I getting out of the science? And I found this frustrating to the point that whenever I was learning a science in medicine, in the short time that I was in medical school, I would take these 10 principles and I would fill it out for myself for that particular topic.
SubhanAllah.
Because this framework seems very obvious, but it's something that is sorely missing and it's something that we can actually contribute back to the Western tradition. It's something that the Western tradition perhaps used to have in the past, but they've lost it now.
There's a sheikh who's a pathologist. Sheikh
Dr. Hussein Abdul
Sattar. He did the same thing. He almost took the Islamic approach to fiqh or to any discipline and he implemented it like a cookie cutter on top of the medical discipline. And his students were said to be one of the best, and he's actually known in the world of pathology for his book. His book on pathology. And he used to teach it like a metin. Exactly the way he was taught in the Sharia sciences, he was taught there. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? All right, continue. What's number 3?
Then we have the mawdu', the subject matter.
The subject.
What are you studying? The what? And so I'll give an example of, like, let's say we probably don't have time to go through all of the other 10. But what these different things, these 3, if someone even knows these 3, They know the definition of a science, they know the subject matter of a science, and they know the benefit, the thamara of the science as well.
Yeah.
That in it of itself is enough to completely give you a framework to orient yourself on what is the direction that I'm going.
Okay, continue.
Let's use fiqh, for example.
Yeah.
What's the definition of fiqh? Fiqh is the study of the rulings of the Sharia as they are related to the actions of a legally accountable individual. What's its subject matter? The actions of that individual. So any action, now I know that it's in the purview of fiqh. Then what's the benefit of it? The benefit of it is achieving success in this life and in the hereafter. Then, for example, when we have kalam and we have
a guest. Hey, Omar, let's get another chair.
I just want to drop by say
Say salam, but let's get it.
You wanna drop in?
No, I have to head out.
This is Ryan's older brother.
I am, yeah. Ryan spoke very highly. He's
Where-
trying to say Assalamualaikum.
Where is he? Building an oil refinery somewhere?
I don't know. He's building something. You know what I mean?
Send him my salam.
will.
Ryan is a very unique dude.
Yeah, I know. He'll
Yeah.
say something. I think he's going to show up in about
He's
20,
coming?
30 minutes.
All right, very good.
Inshallah.
Hey, Omar, Ahmad, I have an idea. Yeah, Ahmad. Why don't we put a chair here and put a message on the laptop, inviting people to come and sit. Put a message on the laptop. All right, continue.
So what this framework does, and we could do the same thing for Aqidah. We could do the same thing for Tasawwuf. We could do the same thing for all of the vast Islamic sciences. And it gives you a framework of how do I live my life? How does this benefit me? So a science, for example, that is ancillary, we need to study it if we're being a scholar and preserving the religion. But for example, that's not something that we want to focus on in the beginning. So something like rhetoric it's something that's incredibly important, because they'll tell you that the topic or the subject of rhetoric, balagha, what's the benefit of it? It's so that we can understand the subtleties of the meanings of the Quran. And that is incredibly important for the theologian, because they need to understand what is the i'jaz, what is the miraculous nature of the Quran.
Yeah.
But for example, that's not something that is needed to be studied in the beginning of a student's journey.
Correct.
Because what's even more important than that is a student knows what they know and they believe in what they need to believe in order to get into paradise. Mm-hmm. So, for example, if we were in an institution that were solely focused on the academic side of things, we would be spending a lot of time in these topics. And we see this with institutions, is that they spend a lot of time in the ancillary topics because they're interesting and they're intellectually stimulating, but they're doing their students a disservice, because the student comes out and he might know everything about Imam al-Jurjani and his impact in balagha and this and that, and they might have incredible insights about balagha. But at the same time, if they were asked to defend a tenet of basic aqeedah that every Muslim should know, they might have doubts about it internally themselves. Or they might not know basic fiqh of how to purify themselves.
Aren't those types, either their knowledge is misaligned, imbalanced, or they don't get the point? They call them like educated idiots.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. You know so much about one particular topic, but you don't know about what's actually important.
Yeah.
Which is why we really focus on this in Darul Fath by targeting two groups of people. The first group of people is the community. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to increase the level of knowledge for the average Muslim. We're trying to reimagine what it means to be an average Muslim.
Yeah.
Because in the context of America, it's not enough to be the type of Muslim that, just listens to their imam. They go to the masjid, and they're Muslim. They pray 5 times a day. Because, for example, you go to a university and you're just exposed to basic physics, basic science. You, without even realizing it, you're imbibing certain ideas in philosophy and in enlightenment thought and atheism without even realizing it. And doubts are all around you at every given time on social media. Mm-hmm. So it's not enough to be that basic Muslim anymore.
No, you can't. You're almost in a theological war zone.
Exactly.
And anyone who lives in a war zone, he needs to how to utilize weapons. He needs to know what the sound of or what harm looks like.
Exactly.
Forget war zones. If you live in a dangerous part of town, you need these skills.
Exactly. Yeah. And another example would be that, the matters of fiqh that are needed to know are way more now than what they used to be.
Yeah.
One example of that is like, for example, in the past, your fard ain knowledge, your individual obligations, like what was your individual obligatory knowledge? It's how to purify yourself, how to pray, and the 5 pillars. And then if you're a man, you would know the basics. The majority of people, they're farmers or they're merchants. So what do they really need to know? They need to know how to buy and sell something.
Yep.
And maybe even that they don't need to know because they just get their wages, for example. Or they might not even have any wealth to begin with. And they might know a little bit about how to get married. And in the past, for example, women, this is not coming out of sexism, this is coming out of a historical reality. The mashayikh in the past would say that women don't need to know these things because they're never going to be buying and selling in the first place. They don't need to know even the basics of how to have a contract because their husband is going to be the one who goes out to the marketplace and buys and sells and makes the money and provides for her, and she just doesn't need to concern herself with these type of things. This is not the reality that we live in today.
Let me ask you another question. Given the fact of how information is almost at our fingertips, that also removes the religious obligation. I mean, the religious excuse.
Right.
It removes the religious excuse of not knowing.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, there's literally no excuse for someone to not know how to make wudu. Right?
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
So not only do you need it for theology, you need it for business, you also have no excuse. Mm-hmm. And today, every single piece of technology that comes out, it's literally within a few months will be flooded with beneficial Islamic information.
Yeah.
Search engines make it so easy. There should be no excuse for somebody to not know. And it's a sign of the end of time. There will come a time the whole world is 2 camps.
Right.
Evil and good. You can't be evil unless you rejected the good.
Right.
And you have the opportunity, you saw it, it's right in front of you, everything is answered, and you rejected it. So that's another reason why there's literally no excuse for someone to remain ignorant.
Right. So back to the point, which was these 2 groups of people, and that first one is that basic Muslim. And what we need to do is that here in the American context, where the average person in our Muslim communities has a bachelor's degree, right, has 12 plus 4, 16 years of education, is very different than what we used to live in the past. So to be a basic Muslim, you need to know more now. There's no excuse with the types of knowledge that is out there.
By analogy, the basic person who can exist in a Western country, how much information does he have to have?
Yeah.
Like, for example, compare a 17-year-old in high school today versus a 17-year-old in high school 300 years ago.
Right.
Or there wasn't even high school, 17-year-old. They don't know physics. They don't know calculus.
Yeah.
They don't know 3 languages.
Yes.
Like today, just to survive, you need so much information, so much knowledge. It's no different spiritually.
Yeah.
You need to be at a higher level if you're going to survive spiritually through all the mess that exists in the world today. And I would say it's not a mess, it's a challenge. Allah's challenging people.
Right.
See who's going to rise to the occasion, and this is a chance to get reward. You contrast that with a teenage Muslim 300 years ago, he's like on cruise control. His whole society is on cruise control. He's not going to earn the highest reward. He's not been tested. So that's another facet.
Right. Which segues us into the second group.
Yeah.
Which is that not only are we trying to increase the average level of knowledge for a Muslim, which is why this is one of our frequently asked questions, is Darul Fath for me?
Yeah.
And the answer is that if you are a legally accountable individual, if you are past the age of puberty, there's a certain level of knowledge that you need to know. That is going to be what are the attributes of Allah, what are the attributes of the Prophets ﷺ, and what is the message that they came with, the 6 pillars of Iman, and the individual obligations. You need to know how to perform your 5 pillars, and you need to be able to also know the rulings of the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So we were talking about this on the way to the airport, which was that, these contracts, for example, for just a home loan are so incredibly complex. I just signed a lease for a new apartment. It's a 40-page document.
Yeah.
And this is a, really scary reality that we're living in today, which is this idea that, we need to know so much in order to know that are the transactions, are the agreements that we're going into, are they valid or not? So that's...
How do you answer somebody who tells you, brother, Islam is simple? How do you answer somebody who says that?
Well, the answer would be that the simplicity is built into these obligations already.
Yeah.
And if you want to see a religion that's not simple, look at, the rules that are in the Talmud, right? Look at the rules that the Jews have to follow in terms of, how they keep kosher and things like that. Allah Ta'ala made those things, made Islam easy by lifting a lot of the things that were obligatory upon the Yahud. So, for example, Imam Suyuti, he mentioned in the Khasa'is of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he has a section on the Khasa'is of the Ummah of the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And one of them, for example, Islam is, when we say that Islam is easy, is that in the past, tayammum was not permitted for the nations of the past. Islam is easy because in the past, if you didn't have water, tough, you had to find water.
Subhanallah, continue.
But in Islam, the Sharia is already easy, and it's already, that these ideas are already built in. But just because something is easy doesn't mean that it's not complex, doesn't mean that it's not internally consistent. And Islam is a way of life as well. So it should come as no surprise that there's a lot of things that you have to know, because your life revolves, for example, around the 5 daily prayers. Mm-hmm. If someone is married, then their life revolves around, for example, tahara, about how to purify themselves. That multiple times a day they're making wudu, they're making ghusl, they're doing all of these different things to constantly reorient themselves to their creator. So while Islam is simple, while the rules are not complicated, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Islam is here to govern the way that we live our life as well.
I'll tell you, here's another way you could look at it. Islam is simple, but Islam doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Right.
If the world is complex,
exactly,
you're going to need to learn more.
Yes.
That's your world. If you're living in the Bedouin, you don't need to learn more, right? So Islam is easy, but life is not. Islam is easy because we have consistency of where our sources are. What are our sources? What are the goals? How do we interpret it? That's actually pretty easy to figure out, to learn. But if you're going to put that into a very complex function,
right?
Yeah. Then you're going to have complexity.
Right.
And you wouldn't say that Islam is complex. It's what you put it in is complex.
Right.
So a ray of light that comes down and falls on this floor is going to be very simple. But if I put a certain type of crystal here,
right,
or diamond here,
yes,
it's going to fracture in so many different ways, mm-hmm, right, that light will transform. Exactly. Likewise, that's the same thing. Here's the other thing. Nobody goes to medical school. This crowd here. No, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I'm about to. They all say, or many of them say, oh, Islam should be easy. Did you say that at medical school?
Yeah.
Did you go to medical school and say, I just offended everyone by saying this crowd, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your typical doctor, and he says to you, oh, brother, Islam has to be easy. Wait, you didn't go to medical school and tell your professor medicine should be easy. The body's easy.
Yeah.
Why? You didn't do that, right? Because if you care about something, you start digging at it.
Yeah.
And you start saying, well, what does the Quran say? What is this meaning? What does this mean? What does this mean?
Yeah.
People who cared, they put books out that had you couldn't even see where the end of the book is. If you lined up the book from here, volumes and volumes and volumes. Mm-hmm. Right.
And, I want to push back on what exactly do you mean by easy?
Yeah.
Because
easy on your nefs?
Exactly.
That's what it means.
Exactly.
Easy on my nefs.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, again, going back to this idea of the context that we live in.
Yeah.
The majority of high school students, right? If you're going to a good school, you're middle class or, what are you studying in school? By the time that you graduate high school, you know how to derive an equation.
Yep.
You know how to do integration. You've done calculus.
Very complex stuff.
Very, very complex stuff. In chemistry, you know about things that in the past, it would take people 15, 16 years to study what you study in your high school algebra class.
Useless too.
Yeah.
90% of what you learned in high school, you don't use.
Yeah.
I remember studying physics. I had 3 A's in physics each semester. If I got an A in the 4th semester, I don't have to take the final.
Right.
I did not want to take this final. So I sort of did a gamble. I said, I'm going to put all my energy into the fourth marking period, and I'm not going to study review for a final. I had to get an A in that fourth marking period. I must have studied in sessions of 2 hours before school and 3 hours after school, 4 and 5 hours total for weeks. Stuff, I can't even tell you the subject, what it is now, the subtopic.
Yeah.
Useless,
Yeah.
right? At least to me it's useless. To somebody it has a use.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, we study very complex things that we admit have no use,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In our daily lives.
Exactly. And then, so back to the groups that we're looking for.
Yeah.
The second group is that we need to preserve the religion as well.
Yeah.
And the religion and the Quran and the message of the Prophet ﷺ is preserved through people. And it's preserved through the inheritors of the Prophet ﷺ, who are the scholars. So the other goal that we have is not only to elevate this middle class Muslim, right? Redefine what it means to be a basic Muslim, but it's also to cultivate men, and by men and women, right?
Yeah.
To cultivate people and to create that next generation of scholars, to prepare them for the challenges of the future, or to prepare them for their studies abroad as well. That, right now we have a part-time program, and we're, aiming to have a full-time program as well. But what we want to do is that we want to give our students who are serious about knowledge. Not everyone who comes into the program is going to be someone who wants to be a scholar, but we need to also cater to the group of people who want to be scholars. And how do we do that here in this environment? How do we do that in, this economic situation that we're living in? That most, if not all, of our students who are in Darul Fath, even the ones who want to become scholars, want to reach that highest level of knowledge, they're working professionals. We have people who are physicians. We have, multiple lawyers. We have people who are Ivy League grads, working at Facebook, working at Google, working at these, really high-level tech companies, and they're balancing that. Many of them also have kids. But what we want to do is that we want to cater to that group of students who are not able to study by, leaving their lives for the next 3 to 5 years and studying abroad, even though some of them have gone on to do that. And we want to cater to that group as well. Yeah. But what we want to do is that we want to take advantage of the talent and the really serious students of knowledge that we have in our community and adapt to their needs as well.
Everything's got to adapt. And we were talking about physical fitness yesterday, and you brought up this philosophy that all the artificial stuff, techniques of being physically fit, they're useless. That wasn't your view, that was someone else's view. But you just follow what the old people did.
Yeah.
Right? Work a lot, be physical, eat normally. But the pushback against that is that nothing is normal about today's food. Nothing is normal about today's lifestyle. So everything has to be artificial.
Right.
We have to pay attention to the foods we eat and omit stuff because there's so much junk. We have to physically try to actually exercise because our life doesn't actually require a lot of movement.
Right.
I remember my grandmother, there was a little well, a pump. And that pump was a block and a half away from her house. Anytime they wanted water, someone had to go with a bucket or two.
Right.
Pump the water, come back. When you do that 3 times a day, every single day of your life, how much health is in that? How much benefit is in that?
Yeah.
So in the same vein, we have to adapt how studies are done. How do we study?
Yeah.
Right, how do we study? We can't say, all right, in the old days, what did they do? Because we're not in the old days.
Yeah.
Right? And old days also doesn't resemble what they did in the time of the Prophet.
Right.
Everyone's adapting.
Right.
So Darul Fath is trying to adapt the schedule, the curriculum to the regular person today.
Right.
And that's one of our programs. The other program is eventually to go full-time. But the part-time program is what's important right now. That's what we're running right now.
Right.
And it's made for the full-timer worker. He's working full-time, he's a student full-time. To study part-time 2 days a week.
Right.
And 1 day in the weekend, right? Mm-hmm. That's a schedule. You can't study 1 time a week. That's not enough, right? That's my class, which is not for Darul Fath. It's intro to Darul Fath, right? Mm-hmm. But it's 3 times a week.
Right.
2 to 3 hours per session. Mm-hmm. And they study 1 book with 1 teacher.
Right.
That's our method of taking people up the ladder. And I think our next program will be a gap year.
Yeah.
And the people do gap years. It's one gap year. If it goes well, that actually becomes year one.
Right.
Right. Or you transition now to year one.
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed. And eventually we're going to have a full-time program. But I also want to bring it back. What's the motive? So I'm like, young man, cometh and sitteth. Cometh and show us this T-shirt. What T-shirt is this?
Here, hold this.
Show this camera this T-shirt here.
Yeah, this T-shirt is Itqan, our robotics team.
Yeah. So the love of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and the sweetness in the heart, that's literally the flame. That's lit. People do stuff to feel good. That's the truth. But there's also a spiritual feeling good.
Yeah.
And once that's hit, that's what the prophets are bringing. Prophets are not bringing hardship. They're bringing feeling good. But they bring feeling good to the soul. McDonald's brings it to the sugar insulin spike. Restaurants bring it to the stomach, right? Other things bring it to other parts of the body. Certain intellectuals, debates, bring it to the mind. But prophets bring feeling good to the soul. And that's why they're the greatest. They brought the best, because that's the deepest part of yourself, and it will never go away, and it lives after death. Once you have that taste, then you're going to study. Even if you're in another career path, you're going to be interested in the source of that feeling good, right? And people who don't taste that, they don't know what we're doing here. They really don't get why we live like this and why we study when they don't know that taste. All right. And you are?
My name is Yusuf Al-Anbari. I just wanted to say hi.
Egyptiano?
And Syrian.
Syrian. What's your name again?
Yusuf Al-Anbari.
Let me see this bag. We are giving out to people who visit our booth this really cool Darul Fath bag. Okay. In which, bring it closer. Yeah. It's got some different architectures. And what are you, is your parent a doctor or something? Why are you here?
Oh, I just wanted to say hi.
No, but why are you at Apple?
Oh, I'm part of the robotics team here.
You got a robotics company?
We're part of Itqan.
And you founded this company?
Huh?
You're the founder?
No.
No? You're not a boy genius type? Okay, so
Inshallah.
what is Itqan Robotics? Is that Turkish?
No, it's
Palestinian.
Sorry, what?
Why has it got all the Palestinian stuff on it?
Because it's for Palestine, of course.
Because the founder's from Palestine.
He's actually from Egypt.
He's Egypt. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what kind of robotics do you do?
We do FRC. It's like a really advanced robots to complete different tasks and competitions.
FYC?
FRC.
FRC, which
Yeah.
means what?
First robotics competition.
Oh, okay. So, how is it related to the medical field?
Oh, it's about the medical field?
Yeah, like, is it a robot that goes into the body and does something to the cells, or what?
Oh, no, we're just it's competing competitions.
Oh, just competitions?
Yeah.
All right, I thought you were an innovator in, like, robotics of the stuff that goes into. So, like, yeah, man?
It's on honor.
Likewise. Take a seat. Huh?
We'll have him on next.
All right, you'll be on next. You're on deck. Put the laptop with a message that is telling people we want them to come and sit and talk. I'm thinking to put something very controversial and say, prove me wrong, right? Like those other ones. Okay. All right, how about being a Molvi is better than being a doctor. Prove me wrong, right? All right, so anyway. So you're not you don't produce a product, your company.
No, we just make robots.
Very good. So, all right, this is the Moroccan one. This is Andalusian, or maybe Syrian. This is Egypt. This is Iraq, before Islam, called the Zuggurat. This is, look at the stars from there, or something else. This is the Uzbek countries. You know the Uzbek countries, like beyond the river. I always say nobody knows what's going on beyond the river. Beyond the river is a phrase in Islamic history. There's the Oxus River, right? And they considered everything to be like Persia and Khorasan there. Then beyond the river, they used to refer to it as beyond the river, Oxus River, Uzbekistan, all those places. So that's from there. Really nice bag. And people can come get this. Did you get a sticker?
Oh yeah, I got both.
You got a laptop sticker?
I have a laptop. Yeah, I'll take a sticker.
Take your bag. Hey, are these magnets or stickers?
Stickers.
Take the sticker.
Laptop stickers.
Hey, Ammar, after Jummah, the chai.
We have the chai right there.
No, we need a chai stand with little cups for everybody. Hey, is Haraz? Yeah, we need signs. Come get chai. Come ask questions. Come talk. Right? That's our purpose. Now you, young man, give him the mic now. Do you have anything to say, by the way? Did you win the robotics competition?
We haven't won the world yet. Inshallah, we do. But
Whoa. And what robot did you produce? Give him the mic again. What kind of robot did you make?
So our team, we make pretty complicated robots that compete in competitions. Yeah.
Like what? Did you see China's running robot?
Oh,
China has a robot that runs downhill now.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What kind of robot did you make?
So our robots, it's made of several parts. And so the first is the base, which has the wheels, motors, and computational stuff. And you have the intake. Arms are optional.
Bring it.
Stuff like that. Oh, I don't know if I can. Actually.
Why? It's a robot. It can move.
It's like
Huh?
it's really big, but I can.
Yeah,
ask
but
them.
can it move?
Yeah, I don't have the controls though. It's
What's the point? You need to show us how this thing moves.
I mean, I can.
Go put the battery in and bring it.
I'll see what I can do. Inshallah.
All right, I'm very impressed with robotics people. Their mind's somewhere else. But what did you win with that?
What we have won is a lot of awards. For example, an Inspire Award. It's inspiring different communities, letting them learn our robotics. For example, we started a robotics team in Pakistan, for example, in different countries like Pakistan, Egypt, like everywhere. Yeah.
Very impressive, young man. Listen, I think you should get some AA batteries from Walgreens, stick that in the robot, and have it moving around. What does the robot do?
So we have different game pieces for each, so we're in a field basically.
Yeah.
And you have scoring elements and you have game pieces. And the robot's task is to just have basic intakes and shooters.
How about, does it serve chai?
I mean, you can try.
That would be a good function, right? Robot going around with its con written on it, your company, serving people chai. Then they'll know what it is.
Inshallah. I'll talk to my coaches so we can do.
Talk to your coach and see if he could have this thing move around. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Until the hotel tells you you can't do it. Don't ask them first. Do it first, and let them shut you down.
All right.
Well done, young man. Salam. All right, we're here at the APNA conference meeting all different people because, I love to meet strangers. I'm all about that. And that's why I think we did, I guess, sort of decent in Dawah. And you are?
My name is Hayyan.
Hayyan?
Hayyan, yes.
Abu Hayyan al-Tawheedi. You ever heard of him?
No, I've not.
Huh?
I've not.
Ooh, you got to look up Abu Hayyan al-Tawheedi.
Okay, I
All
will.
right, speak.
Okay, so assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is
Salam.
Hayyan. I just graduated college. I'm a pre-medical student. And I'm in my gap year right now.
You're pre-med.
Yes.
So you're here. You're basically foreshadowing. You're coming to see where you're going to be in 10 years.
Inshallah. Yeah, inshallah.
Good. So
That's
are you
fine.
here with a charity?
So
or
I'm
what?
here with Mercy USA. So they're an advocacy and fundraising organization. So they work with boots on the ground organizations in other countries. For example, primarily like Pakistan, even Palestine right now. We used to be in Syria, Egypt as well. So we work with those organizations that are like currently working over there. We basically raise awareness, raise advocacy, and then we also supply monetary funds for them as well.
Very impressive. Where's your stand?
Our stand is actually just about 30 feet down that way to the right. Yep.
Are you collecting for a specific cause right now?
So there's no specific cause. It's mainly just, whatever the communities over there need, whatever the demographic needs. So it's mainly like restoration, some people need shelter, others medicine. We are also are zakat eligible, so your payment can go towards zakat as well.
Tell me something. What
Yes.
kind of physician you want to be?
What type of physician? That's a great question. I think most people in my position, they would tell you that you kind of figure that out once you get into the actual medical school.
Fair enough.
Once you get into the career. But I do like sports medicine. I'm an avid sports player and also a fan.
What do you play?
I play basketball and volleyball right now. Yeah.
And then I also think endocrinology is cool. So that's like the system, that's the field that deals with like your hormones and all the chemicals in your body. Yeah.
Which is what? Say it again.
It deals with like the hormones.
Endocrinology.
Endocrinology, yeah. Metabolism, obesity, thyroid, all that stuff. Yeah.
Explain to a layman what is a hormone.
A hormone. So a hormone is a chemical messenger in your body that travels through the blood, and then it will attach to a certain cell inside your body, and then it will direct that cell in a certain specific way. So it can direct it to release a different chemical. It can sometimes direct it to stop producing something. And it can, in general, when all these hormones work in tandem, they control your metabolism and they control like all essential functions of your body.
That's a good answer. A chemical messenger, meaning like, what does it look like?
That's a great question.
Under a microscope.
Under a microscope. Yeah. So it would look somewhat globular. So like a spherical shape. And it usually, so you have two types of hormones.
Yeah.
So you have ones that can actually enter the cell, and those usually directly affect your DNA. And then you have ones that attach to the outside of the cell, and then it's called it's called the cascade process. Okay. So it attaches to the outside of the cell, and then you have secondary messengers that once that's attached, they relay other information. Okay. And then from there you have stuff that goes
on. Is it like a cell that means has a nucleus?
Yes, all the specific components of a cell, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you can reproduce that hormone, right?
Yes, you could, yeah.
In the lab?
So you could, I wouldn't say reproduce, but you could synthetically produce it.
Synthetically produce.
So,
which is not healthy though, right? It's never good.
You can, well, it's, for example, the most commonly produced or synthetic hormone would probably be insulin. Okay. So in certain specific cases, it can be used like pharmaceutically as a medicine.
Tell me something now.
Yes.
You're year one medical school?
I'm applying to medical school right now. Yeah.
Why is it bad to spike your when they always say like sugar spike?
Yeah.
Tell me, how is that bad? Why is it bad?
Wow, that's a shallow but deep question. So
he called my question shallow.
It's because there's a lot to it.
I have a belt, you know. You just called my question shallow. Okay, speak.
So in aggregate, I would say in aggregate, that response is harmful. But for example, there are times when you do need that sugar spike. For example, let's say post-activity, your body is depleted naturally at that time, so you would need some sort of energy. Okay. So sugar isn't necessarily 100% harmful for you. But what happens in aggregate is that once you have high levels of, we call it glucose, high levels of blood glucose in your blood, of course, in your system, then your body has to maintain a constant level of a hormone that can deplete it. And so in aggregate, what happens is that naturally you'll have lesser fat metabolism, so you'll have higher fat levels, and then that's what leads to conditions such as diabetes, conditions such as thyroid problems, and obesity as well.
Could you tell me how is it that fat increases because my sugar I spike my sugar?
Right. So the way that your body stores sugar when it's in excess is it converts glucose into something called glucagon. And so glucagon is just a bunch of, glycogen. It converts glucose into glycogen. So glycogen is just a bunch of sugar units stored together that are packed. And so naturally you can think of it as when you pack these molecules together, they increase in size. So quite literally, your body's storing these sugars, and that takes up space in your body as well.
But how are they storing it if you're using it?
So the way that it works is that if it's an excess, then you have to have that certain amount of excess into storage. So that's when I was explaining that if you're constantly in an excess level of sugar consumption, your body will use what it needs. But then the extra has to get stored somewhere.
Okay, another question for you.
Yeah.
Would you say that the sweetener, like sugar, is like somebody who gets money and spends it right away, versus if he had his sugar through a fruit which has fiber, then he's saving some money for later and only using a small amount? Is that a right analogy or wrong?
You can make that analogy work. So yeah, for example, if someone obtains the sugar and they spend it or they use it as they need, and someone that obtains the money and they use it as they need, versus someone that hoards money, something like that. Yeah. So they're constantly just hoarding the money, or they're hoarding the sugar. So that's when you have that excess. Yeah. Okay.
So things that spike your sugar.
Yeah.
Anything that produces spike equals fat buildup. correct?
In an aggregate, in the long term, yes. You can summarize it like that. Yeah.
So your goal is to avoid these sugar spikes, especially if your metabolism has slowed down.
Exactly. As you age, your metabolism naturally slows down.
Yeah.
Which is why you have to be more cognizant of your caloric intake as you grow older.
And which calories too? Because like there are bad calories.
Yes. So calories is just a very overarching word of everything that you consume. So calorie is actually a unit of energy. So there's a way to chemically convert the food that you're eating into the amount of energy that it would technically store and produce. So the calorie
and storing is preferred, right?
Storing, yes, in the right amount, storing is preferred. Yes.
Because, for example, let's say 100 calories of meat, versus 100 calories of bread.
Right.
It's not the same.
Not the same at all, no.
Yeah.
So the essential chemical component is different. The meat, of course, is protein, and the bread, of course, is carbohydrate. So you need both in your body, and you also need fats. You need healthy fats, lipids in your body as well. When that proportion gets distorted is when problems arise. For example, high sugar diets, high fat diets is when your body has to store that fat and sugar, and that's what causes that natural appearance. It's because your body's actually storing that energy.
You're going to go into sports medicine, so this is very important for you.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Because you're going to need to get these people in shape.
Exactly,
right?
Yes.
And then you're going to need to actually, each sport has a different physique.
Yes, very true.
So baseball players tend to be lean.
Right.
Football players, every position's different.
Exactly, very true.
Right?
Yeah.
Hockey players tend to be almost like Marines, like average and everything.
Yeah.
They don't want them, you don't want to be tall and lean, nor you want to be like built like a lineman either.
Exactly.
Soccer players are also like Marines. They're like average and everything.
Yeah.
But their stamina needs to be like through the roof.
Right, exactly.
Whereas a wide receiver, he needs to sprint.
Exactly.
So his heart is different.
Right,
than the heart of a hockey player.
Right.
The hockey player he's going to be extending energy for 20 minutes over the next 3 hours. Right? So he needs to be consistent.
Exactly.
Whereas a wide receiver, he's just sprinting.
Exactly.
His heart needs to go up and then go down and up. And
Yeah.
Tell me about spiking your heart rate. You tell me is that good or bad?
Spiking your heart rate. So, again,
like for example, to give you an example.
Yeah, of course.
I want to wake up, right? So you go on the treadmill, walk a little bit, then run. Spike your heart rate. Then you get your blood flowing.
Exactly.
Is it good or bad?
So in the way that you described it, I would say it's a good thing. So spiking your heart rate is what's known as the sympathetic response. So that basically means that your body is in fight or flight mode. So that's when all, like you said, your blood is flowing. Your body actually starts to use that stored energy when you're in fight or flight mode. So that's when that's useful in these situations. Your body has like a reserve to tap into when it needs to.
Yeah.
So there's different ways to accomplish that. Like you said, like a quick run in the morning, it'll get your heart flowing, get the blood pumping in your body.
Yeah.
What a lot of people do nowadays, probably heard, is a cold shower in the morning. So that activates the sympathetic response as well. You get into that cold water, you start breathing heavy, your heart pumps the blood to try to warm yourself. So that's another way to spike your heart rate. So it is a good thing, of course, but you don't want it to be chronic, because what happens is that if your sympathetic response is activated for too long, your body will continue to use your energy reserves, you'll tire yourself out, and naturally you're fatigued, and it can lead to different chronic inflammatory conditions.
You mean like sprinting too long?
Yes, exactly. And you can naturally think of it. If you're sprinting for too long, of course, you're going to fatigue yourself, your muscles are going to ache, you're going to have some lactic acid that's produced in your body as well.
When you say for too long, do you mean like, if I was to say, I'm going to walk 9 minutes, sprint 1, walk 9, sprint 1, walk 9, sprint 1.
Yeah.
So I'm only sprinting for 3 minutes in the day.
Yeah.
But when you say too long, are you talking about the minutes or the days in which you do that?
I would say it's a combination of both. So in that particular day, it would be that time period. If you're not used to that time period that you're running, then yes, it might be a little too excessive for you. And then you also want to give your, you want to give your body a rest day in between your activities. So if you're working out 7 days a week, you're going to eventually tire yourself out.
Yeah, so you need a break.
Exactly.
Now, the thing is with that stuff is that if your blood doesn't flow well, and your body gets into that habit, in old age, those people are always cold and inactive.
Right.
Because their blood it just doesn't flow. Their
Right.
heart is weak.
Right, exactly.
So that's why it's important to learn this aspect of health. Is that your heart has to be healthy.
Right.
So that in old age, and here's the thing, people, they're living longer,
Yeah,
but are they living better?
exactly.
And in order to live well from 60 onwards, you have to put in the work and the knowledge now.
Yeah,
And you need to have a healthy heart so that when you're healthy, I mean, it pumps well. It's used to pumping.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that the
Yeah.
blood is flowing and you're active, you can wake up and
Yeah.
you're not cold.
Right, exactly.
So when somebody, am I right about this?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So if somebody doesn't focus, they never does that,
Mm-hmm.
then in old age, very quickly they're going to get cold, sleepy, and inactive.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
People, I've been thinking, like, I used to think health nuts, I'm not into that. But the more I think about it, our life is so artificial. It's
Right.
so, everything about it's artificial.
Yeah.
From the food to what we're doing now, sitting on man-made chairs.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Man-made lighting,
Right.
man-made air conditioning.
Yeah.
So the world is not directing our health anymore.
No, no. Yeah.
Nature is not directing our health. Therefore, our health will be also artificial.
Right.
Just like what I said earlier about Islamic sciences, the message of Allah is simple, but if you put it into a complex function,
Yeah.
it has to become complex.
Right, exactly.
And I need an answer for my rental contracts, for my rental car, for my lease.
Yeah.
I need to make sure all this is lawful, right? And asking questions that weren't asked way back by other prophets, right?
Yeah.
Or in the time of the prophets.
Right.
Likewise, nothing about our life physically is natural.
Right, very true.
Even the sun. Like when we live in certain times of the year,
Yeah.
you have to pop in vitamin, what is it, D?
D, yes, yes.
They just call it vitamin S for the sun. But vitamin D, you got to
Yeah.
pop these pills.
Yeah.
And you got to put fake lights
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
there's no sun.
There's no sun exposure.
And
yeah.
you're not even working outdoors or anything. And you don't even have fires. Because
That's true.
fire, I think fire does have an impact. A
Right,
positive
yes, yes.
impact, right? No fires. Everything's fake. Everything is man-made. Likewise, therefore, our health, it needs attention. And even I look at it from an Islamic perspective. When my kids are all older, when the message is taken care of, all responsibilities, when you hit that phase,
Yeah.
they call it the Shaybani phase.
Shaybani.
Shaybani phase, your responsibilities are done,
Yeah.
right? Nobody expects anything of you.
Uh-huh.
You can be declining and rotting in that period of time, or you can actually be thriving. Because now your nafs and your ego, it's not as dangerous
Very true.
when you're older.
Right.
You see the finish line of the afterlife right in front of you.
Yeah.
You got no responsibilities. Chances are you have passive income coming in. Even regular people, they got Social Security. coming in.
Exactly.
So you don't even have to work. This is a great time. It could be a great time in your life.
Yeah.
It could be a sad time in your life.
Very true, yeah.
And it's going to be based upon a lot of things.
Yeah.
Your family relationships, your relationship with Allah, your sins, your spirituality, your ability to do dhikr, but also your body.
Right.
I can't do anything if I don't have a good body.
Very true.
So the body needs, if I want to profit in that period of time, I need a healthy body.
Uh-huh.
And there was a man who was Palestinian. He had a pizzeria. His dad used to come and spend like 3 months with him.
Yeah.
I loved this man, like the way he lived.
Yeah, yeah.
The dad would wear his regular, he was a thin, small man, but regular thobe. He would oftentimes wear a sweatshirt, because he was cold, and he'd wear this beanie, right?
Yeah.
This woolly hat. And I see him in the masjid, he was always smiling, always happy.
Right.
And I thought to myself, what's with this man? One day I went to get pizza, I saw him sitting in the pizzeria of his son and reading Quran. I said, you're reading your daily juz? He
Yeah.
said, juz? 10 juz.
That's mashallah. Yeah.
I sat down with him and I asked him about how he lives. He said that he wakes up in the morning, prays Fajr in the masjid, comes back home, takes a little nap, wakes up again, has a nice cup of tea, has some water, and walks
Yeah.
to his son's pizzeria.
Ah, I see, yeah.
And that's his exercise.
Right.
Like he has a concept of health.
Exactly.
And you could tell. He walks to the pizzeria. And the walk is maybe 2 miles.
Okay.
Right? But for an old man, that's a lot.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And that's a great habit.
Yeah.
That's 4 miles a day. Every
It
day.
is, yeah.
Walking. He gets to the pizzeria, he opens the mushaf, and he says, I'm giving barakah to my son's pizzeria.
Right.
He recites 10 juz.
Wow.
Okay? Then he has some food. He goes home, does his stuff with his daughters, family, whatever. Daughter-in-law, grandkids. Maghrib, comes to the masjid.
Yeah.
Right? Stays in the masjid.
Yeah.
Well, what does he do when he hangs out from Maghrib to Isha in the masjid? It's chit-chat.
Right.
There's social health
Exactly.
in that, right?
Exactly.
Then he goes home and he sleeps. So I don't think that he was like focusing on health the way we're talking
Right, exactly.
and the way Americans are
Yeah.
and modern people. But it was enough that he knew, I need to walk.
Right.
I need to read Quran. I need to be with people.
Yeah.
Right? And I need to sleep. So to me, I felt that's actually a great example of someone whose health is benefiting him.
Uh-huh.
Right? In the last phase of life. Now, you
Exactly.
may not reach the last phase of life, but who cares?
That's very
if
true.
you don't, maybe good riddance to Dunya. But
Right, exactly.
if you do, you might as well be ready for it.
Yeah.
So that's on that. Another thing I want to, am I holding you? Are you going to get fired from your?
Oh, no, I'm
Mercy
good.
International?
Yeah, there's another person over
Okay.
there.
So I want to talk about stretching.
Yes, okay.
I'm literally,
Yeah.
I was very achy.
Yeah.
I started stretching.
Yeah.
I need to stretch all the time.
Right.
And I've been doing this for so many years that I'm soon going to be like a yogi. How much stretching? But I don't know if I'm stretching right.
Okay.
Right? So talk to us about sugar, achiness, and stretching.
And sugar, achiness, and stretching.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll do that backwards. So
Okay.
sugar, achiness, okay, stretching. Okay.
Yeah.
So of course, the two are correlated, stretching and
By the way,
achiness.
this is a great stretch.
Yes,
Here.
where you feel it right in the glute as well. Yeah.
That's a great. And this here
Yeah.
affects back pain.
Oh, it does,
A
100%.
lot of people have back pain.
Right, exactly. And
I'm
so,
literally becoming very knowledgeable about this stuff. I'm almost a yogi at this point. Yeah.
right.
All right, keep going.
So stretching will combat
Yeah.
achiness. And so it's a very effective method. It loosens up the muscles,
Yeah.
relax your muscle fascia. So it's definitely a natural.
You think that fascia thing is real?
It
Or
is.
is
So
it a
it's
mystical
it's
belief?
considered like pseudoscience in a sense,
Yeah.
but I think with these type of things, experience is what matters.
Yeah.
A lot of people find it beneficial. For example, chiropractic, massage therapy, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a case by case experience.
So whether or not the fascia is real, what they're saying to do works.
That's
and
true.
What matters,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So anecdotal experience and
Anecdotal.
that type of stuff matters in tandem with clinical evidences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So of course, stretching it should be a natural habitat that everyone incorporates.
Yeah.
And achiness comes with age. Maybe you overtrain, maybe you're just old now. So it can definitely help, and especially if you're leading a sedentary lifestyle, you don't move that much. Definitely should incorporate some stretches into your daily routine. As far as like how to stretch or trying to figure out the exact movement to perform.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resources nowadays. Simple search online can help you.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the benefits, of the modern age. You can literally Google anything you need. So it's not complicated. It'll take, a few minutes out of your day maybe. And it'll definitely help you. I'll say that much, yeah.
Have you seen the guy who he sells a chair stretching routine?
A chair stretching routine.
Sorry, not stretching, chair workout routine.
Chair workout. No, I've not heard of him.
You never seen this guy?
No, I have not. Sounds interesting though.
Oh, this guy is fit, bro. He's
Okay.
got all white hair. He must be in his 60s.
Yeah.
He got a long white beard. And he's looking great. And he does like dips against the chair.
On the chair, yeah.
Different exercises like on the chair.
Right, exactly.
And it's again, the whole life is artificial.
Right.
So he's actually making use. I think it's brilliant because he's making use
Right.
he's making use of what we have. And hey, assalamu alaikum guys. Cometh and take a seat.
You want to sit? These are my friends.
These are your boys?
These are my friends, yeah.
He's making
Say what? Yeah, if you want to sit, come.
He's making use of the stuff that we have
Right, yeah.
and to exercise against it.
Yeah.
'Cause you've got stairs everywhere.
That's very true, yeah.
I mean chairs everywhere.
Yeah.
So who are these guys?
So that's my friend Ali. We're from Michigan, by the way. So yeah, I grew up with him. Honestly, we're very close family friends as well. And then this is his friend
Which part
from
of
Troy.
Michigan?
So we're between Ann Arbor and Detroit. It's a small city called Canton. So
Oh, I know Canton.
Canton, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So have you ever been there?
I've been to Hamtramck.
Hamtramck, okay.
I've
yes.
been to Detroit, of course.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Dearborn.
Dearborn, of course, yeah.
But I'd never been anywhere else outside of.
Okay, it's a small suburb. It's a nice community. I like it there, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That's where I grew up for most of my
And
life.
that's where you're going to be a. Is that where you're going to be a physician too?
Inshallah, I'd like to stay close to home. I have younger siblings.
What college did you go to?
I went to University of Michigan Dearborn. Yep. So that was about 30 minutes from my place.
Let's see if anyone's got any fitness questions.
Okay, sure.
Hey, listen, where are you applying to medical school?
A lot of places.
I would accept you. Hey guys, should this guy be accepted or not? Because he answered all these questions really well. Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Bring your boys here.
Inshallah, I will do. I think we actually have to go for Jum'ah.
Juma.
Yeah. So
Juma's at 2 though.
2:10. I was told I should get there by 1:30. It's about a 20-minute drive from
doing
here.
the khutbah?
No. Maybe one day, inshallah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
Okay,
man.
it was an honor meeting you,
Well
Sheikh.
done.
Assalamu
Barakallahu
alaikum.
feek.
Jazakallah.
Alaikum. Salam. And you are?
I'm Hashim.
Hashim who?
Hashim Ali.
Hashim Ali? Let's see this.
No,
Why?
this is some girl gave this to me. I don't want to go to that. But it sounds fun.
Kawali night. Whoa. You can't go unless you're wearing black and white Desi attire. Hey, Ammar, are we going to this Kawali night? Or is this what Sheikh Yasif Qadi talked about? Salam, ya Matt. Huh?
I'm sorry, I don't have it on.
They say I need a black and white. You need to dress in black and white Desi clothes. Desi formal attire. That means a $90 shirt and $5 PJs.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's what it means.
$5
Yeah.
Sheikh, I had a quick question. Do you take
Speak.
pictures?
Sit and take a picture.
Yeah.
We did our first health and fitness interview right here. Right. And this is your
It's also my friend from Michigan.
Mercy USA boy too?
Yes.
Hello. Good. All right, Mercy USA, you better declare what percentage you take or else bro Haji's gonna come after you.
That's very true.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Sheikh.
All right,
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum,
Chef,
bro.
can I ask you, my friend is a huge fan.
Speak.
Watch all of your videos.
Allahu
Can you
Akbar.
take a video of you saying Assalamu alaikum
Come,
Yusuf?
sit and take it. Come, sit over here so we can look at the. What's his name? Yusuf.
Assalamu Yusuf. I'm here with a special guest.
Yusuf from Michigan. Is Yusuf coming to this thing?
He was supposed to, but he dissed me for Umrah, so I can't hate him.
Umrah, mashallah. Well, make dua for us in Umrah. Even if we've never met, please make dua for us. Allah give us hidayah, rushd, and grant us what we're seeking. Jazakallah khair. Well
Very
done,
nice to
man.
meet you.
Likewise.
You're going to
barakallah
speak
feek.
here later, right?
I don't know. I don't know my itinerary. These guys know. Ask Ammar, the people in the suits.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Take care, guys. Assalamu alaikum. All right, here's a question. أريد نصيحة بخصوص تجنب الخمول وعدم الرغبة في الدراسة وعدم وجود الرغبة في اكتشاف الدين. If a person is losing interest in the deen, the solution is the same solution as someone losing interest in anything else, which is that too much and imbalance. If you were to give me my favorite foods to eat every single day, I would lose interest in it. But if that favorite food is spaced out with other flavors, hunger, other things that I don't like, when I get back to my favorite food, it'll be fresh. It'll be my favorite food. So anyone who loses their desire, loses their interest, and you're like, wow, this is weird because this is my love, but I don't desire it anymore. The answer is space it out and vary your activities. Do different things, right? Even there's a narration about Abu Darda, and he said that a little bit of batil every evening refreshes you. Batil doesn't mean sinful. Like, for example, for them, reciting old poetry. That was their version of relaxing and entertaining themselves. That's your solution. Vary your behavior. Why is it I feel like the full life is best, but people feel I can't focus so much when I live a full life? All right, yes, you can't totally focus all your energy in one thing, like a single person, but at the same time, you're at least always, you'll always be passionate about what you love. You'll always love it. Because when you do these other things at work, family, obligations, paying bills, family visits, other things, it varies your palate. And when you go back to what you love, your passion's still there. If you want to stay passionate about what you love, live a balanced life. That's the answer. That's the solution to your question. Can Atharis use kalam nafsi distinction? No, they don't have that at all. The Hanabila, and if you look at the book Qala'idul Iqyan, they have no such concept. They just say Allah's speech is eternal and He speaks, and that's it. They don't delve into the answering what the skeptics, what the Mu'tazila asked. The Mu'tazila were not skeptics in the sense of they didn't believe in God and are trying to find inconsistencies. Sound like, right? But they made mistakes in how they answered. So the Hanbali Aqidah doesn't get into that. Assalamu alaikum from Northern Caucasus, says Ziad Soro. And that is Sheikh Murad is from the Caucasus. Hey, what's our schedule? Are we travelers? Or are we going for Jummah? And we're going to stream back when we come back after Jummah.
I think I doubt there's going to be anyone here, to be honest.
What? So we're stopping for Jummah, right? Yeah, because we're travelers. Jummah is optional for us. Okay. What is kalam nafsi and lafzi? Kalam nafsi is Allah's speech within Himself, pre-eternally. And kalam lafzi is how we recite it. Okay? It is His speech in a form that we recite or write. So we say that the recitation is created. Imam Ahmad disagreed with saying that. So people don't think, we say the speech of Allah is created. But what we say is the recitation is created. The ink on the paper is a creation. But what it points to is kalam nafsi, which is uncreated word of Allah that has no form, no beginning, no end, no parts, okay, and is uncreated. That's it. What's all the noise is that we're at the APNA, Association of Pakistani Physicians in North America. And we're also doing a tour of Dallas, other masajid. We'll be at Epic, we'll be at Gems, I don't know what that is. I don't even know my own itinerary, to be honest with you. I like surprises. Okay. All right, we shall, let's see. View as muntadi, but alhamdulillah become. All right, alhamdulillah. Tariq al-Hashim used to think from Bahrain that we're mubtadi'ah. Listen to more live streams, realize it's not the case. I appreciate that, Tariq. Alhamdulillah. What is ArcView's approach to Aqidah? ArcView in Aqidah has, firstly, Hanbali live Aqidah starting in the fall with a very special teacher. I'll keep you in suspense. I'm not going to tell you who it is though until later on. But we offer Aqidah in the Hanbali tradition, in the Ash'ari tradition, and in the Maturidi tradition. You can sign up for any of them you want, or all of them. And you study with the Sheikh. the texts of those books. If you finish, then we'll have advanced. Advanced differs from the essentials. Essentials is once a week. Each class is about 45 minutes. Essentials is twice a week, and it's now heavier books in the Arabic language. Okay, and the class is in English, but the book is in Arabic. And it's twice a week, and you get to the advanced books. Okay. Shuja'at says, what are the sifat as-salbiyya? The sifat as-salbiyya, the word salbi means negative. So the sifat as-salbiyya means what Allah doesn't have. What is forbidden for us to believe about Allah. And they are 5, reflected from Surah Al-Ikhlas. So, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, say Allah is one in Himself. That means He has no partners, and He is not divisible, top, bottom, right, left, inside, outside. So we are negating these things. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ Allahu Samad. As-Samad is the one everyone relies upon, but He Himself relies upon nobody. So Allah has no needs. Anything that indicates a need for Allah is false. So we disbelieve in needs. His dependencies. He has no needs, no dependencies. Okay? Lam yalid. He was not born. Therefore Allah has no beginning. We call that al-qidam. Pre-eternal. Lam yalid, sorry, he didn't give birth. He didn't give birth. Therefore he has no end. We call that baqa. Walam yulad, he wasn't born. He has no beginning. So what does that tell us about time? Time is merely one of His creations. It does not apply to the Creator because He has qidam and baqa. The timeline does not apply to Allah. It applies to creation. There is nothing like unto Him. So He differs completely from created things. Created things have a beginning. Created things require sustenance. Created things have limits. Created things have ends. Created things change. So there is no likeness unto Allah. All right, you cannot liken the Creator to the creation. And that's a summary of a sifat as-salbiyya. The last one we call it mukhalafatul hawadith. So the first one is wahdaniyya, al-ghina al-mutlaq, al-qidam, al-baqa, wa mukhalafat al-hawadith. Okay. This is Hashim from Chicago. I want to know if you noticed that certain people, they don't talk about virtues of the Prophet, and that is what our shuyukh would call a hirman. Allah has disallowed them to get those rewards and those benefits. Right? And hirman, it's a punishment. Hirman is a punishment. One of the most important things that a Muslim must be raised upon is the love of the Prophet. And we study his seerah, shama'il, khasa'is. When you study the Prophet, you study 4 things. You study his seerah, his biography. You study his shama'il, his descriptions. Khasa'is, what's specifically unique to the Prophet. And you study his dala'il. What are the proofs of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Are you going to the Roots community? I don't know. I don't know if that's part of it. How have we can revive our faith that we used to have after a long time of being away from it? You go to masajid. Just show up. Show up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. And you never know what's going to happen. You may see a flyer. You may need to see something else. But the key is to constantly keep showing up to the masajid. That's the hospital of the hearts. Keep showing up to anything of knowledge. Or if it's not a physical place, virtual. Listen to Quran, listen to good things, watch good things. Same thing. It's a type of healing that happens. المقصود من عدم الرغبة في اكتشاف الدين هو أن زوجي ملم بالدين لكن أرى نفسي بعيدة جدا لسنا على نفس المستوى. She's saying her husband and her are at different levels of deen. So, and this causes her depression. إحباط يسبب إحباط. نقول لهذه الامرأة عليك باجتناب المعاصي okay. وعليك بقضاء الفرائض وما سوى ذلك فهو نفل وما عليك أن تزيدي وتطلبي العلم ليس العلم لكل أحد وأنواع العبادات متنوعة ومتلونة فإذا وجدت الملل في الفقه فليس عليك أن تطلبي هذا العلم إن وجدت مللا في شيء مش ليس بالعافية ليس بالعافية وبالضغط بالغصب كلنا نمشي فيما فتحه الله عليه كل ميسر لما خلق له طالما الإنسان مجتنب للمعاصي ويقضي فرائضه على علم ويقين بالواجبات والسنن والمكروهات والمبطلات. Summary of what I'm saying is we don't need to use force. If a man who is into the deen and his wife is not, so as long as she's not doing anything haram and she's doing her obligations, leave her alone. Let her be. And husbands, you will now have to adapt to the halal things that she likes. Why would you force her now to do what you like? And she may hate the deen. You have to adapt to what she likes as long as it's halal. Okay? That's it. So I hope that answers the question. Okay. ليس الدين بالغصب ولا بالعافية. كل ميسر لما خلق له. الذي يجتنب المحرمات ويقضي فرائضه فهو قريب من الله. الدليل ما تقرب إلي عبدي بشيء أحب إلي مما افترضته عليه. هذا الدليل أن المجتنب للمعاصي والعامل بالفرائض قريب من الله. خلاص يكفي. وما سوى ذلك من النوافل كما تحب كما الإنسان يحب على رغبة الإنسان مش بالضغط ولا بالعافية ولا بالغصب. هذا يسبب اكتئاب ويسبب ملل ويسبب انعكاس في القلب. Can one follow Hanbali Aqidah and Shafi'i fiqh? Why not? They're both valid. Hanbali Aqidah, you follow the book Qala'id al-Aqyan. How do you deal with someone who says Abu Hanifa was Athari in creed, so let him be Athari in creed? Does that negate Maturidi Aqidah? Right? Let him say what he wants. If you die upon that, do you go to hellfire? No. You may be right, you may be wrong. But does that negate Maturidi creed? No, not at all. Abu Hanifa was a mutakallim, Malik, he was a mutakallim how? Where's your mic? He used to go to Basra and debate who?
He used to debate like sects, like atheist debate.
Yeah. Salam, how are you? Cometh and sitteth. And join the NBF special here. And who do we have here? This is one of our youngest NBF guests. And who is he?
My name is Bilal, assalamu alaikum, and this is my son Dean. We're from North Carolina.
Dr. Bilal?
Yes.
And what kind of doctor?
I'm an anesthesiologist and interventional pain physician.
Anesthesiologist, so you put people to sleep.
I don't do anesthesia anymore. I do interventional pain management right now.
You're a drug dealer.
I do interventional pain management.
Interventional.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So with interventional pain management, we try to address pain utilizing a non-opioid, non-medication.
So you're not a drug dealer?
No.
Okay, good.
No, but I wanted to come by and just say I've benefited a lot from your lectures.
My
you know, Jazakallah, your control of language, how you articulate, how you present the subjects have been so inspirational and insightful. Listen to your podcast on the Thinking Muslim, the way that you sort of discuss misconceptions of how people perceive Sufism. I think it's very important to have that discussion. So may Allah bless you, all your hard work, your academic achievements. Thank you for all the wisdom that you're imparting.
I really appreciate that. And now I actually feel bad for calling him a drug dealer. I'm just kidding.
Not really, he said.
No, you're opium free, right?
We try to be, yes. And I mean, in regards to that, right? So
how do they do that?
Yeah, so,
how do they replace what's the main one they give people when they're really in pain?
So like various types of opioids, right? And so, you know, in the 1990s, I want to provide a little bit of context to this. Doctors and healthcare providers were getting sued for not addressing pain, right? And so pain actually became a fifth vital sign in addition to like heart rate, blood pressure. And so there was this fear in the medical community that if we don't...
Here, let me show you how to do it. Here. There you go.
Yes, so there was this fear in the medical community. They need 1 second, please. Yeah, that if we don't address pain, we could potentially get sued, right? There could be litigation. And so people started prescribing, and obviously you have Big Pharma, Pfizer, that were also pushing their own agendas about these medications. And so that's the problem that we got created. Again, the crack epidemic in New York did not raise eyebrows, but when you have kids of senators that are
in Wisconsin,
being passed away from opioids, it becomes a huge issue, right? And so that's why. But again, there's a lot of chronic pain that people suffer with, you know, and chronic pain also has an impact on mental health as well, right? And so helping to address both the physical and the mental aspects of pain is kind of what I try to focus on with not relying on opioid medications.
Tell me something. What are medications you use in place of these?
Sure.
Things?
Yes, Nini? Okay, you can hold it like this, okay, buddy? All right. So medications in replacement of opioids would be your NSAIDs, ibuprofens, anti-inflammatories. Obviously, those have concern for long-term use. Yes, Tylenol, neuropathic medications for nerve pain. But I think for chronic pain, the biggest thing is emphasizing the importance of lifestyle modification, exercise, physical activity,
blessing of strongness and bismillah.
There's not a simple pill, right? And that's
protect our family and make us the goodest thing ever.
There's no shortcuts if you want to do it right.
Absolutely.
Or if you want the shortcuts, you end up getting almost like you get addicted. Right? The shortcuts produce addiction, which gives you a bigger hill to climb.
Blessing of Allah.
So what about diet?
And Allah
Does
will
diet
bless
affect pain?
us.
Absolutely.
And Allah
100%. I
will
think we're
bless
recognizing that there's a
blessing
lot
of
of
Allah.
foods
And
that are
please
processed, which downstream can result in a lot of negative side
please
effects.
protect your family.
Pro-inflammatory, so muscle pain, irritability,
And
the idea of eating something and not feeling satiated, that comes from...
Guys, put a sutra here. Put a chair here or something.
That comes from not having nutrition in the food that we're eating, right?
your health
Sensation
and
of
your
always
guidance.
Being hungry.
even though you just had a cheeseburger.
Although you're fat too. You're getting fat, but you're still
And
hungry.
please
I'm sure you're already familiar with the Nova
the bismillah
way of dividing up food.
the Arabic
So the first one is
letters.
completely natural foods. The next is the processed
you wanna
food
learn
that attaches to your regular food, like salt,
Do
oil.
this.
The third one is semi-processed, like cheese.
The
The fourth is fully
you wanna
processed, like a cheeseburger. Right?
And may
that
Allah
fourth
bless our blessings and
nearly
make
should be
them our guidance
Literally,
of
McDonald's
Allah
is all
and make
fourth.
our guidance
Right? Any fast food
please
Then the
our-
third one and the second one should
our-
represent 10%.
or
And then
help
just like a
in
piece
our
of chicken, piece of
guidance
fish, salad,
and please
that should be
protect us
90%. So for those watching, it's called the Nova.
Protect
Just
me.
look up the Nova categorization of
my
food.
family.
The Nova schedule.
Protect everyone.
But
Please protect everyone.
you get the feeling that if a lot of junk comes in, a lot of pain is going to result. If you reverse that, and the bulk of what you have is number 4, fully processed foods, then eventually you're going to be in a lot of pain. Right? And that's probably, and that's of course,
Make them good
you deal with people who had accidents, car accidents, motorcycle accidents.
And Muslim people are so good.
The reason I immediately jumped and said he is a drug dealer is because I know some anesthesiologists. They became pain medicine.
Grandpas and
They got like a lot of different offices,
aunties.
But what they do is people go in and they drip the, I don't know what is it called?
Everyone
What's the medicine called that's the number one?
Gooder and gooder. Hope your mama and baba.
All that stuff. All that stuff. Morphine.
Those are the class of opioids, right?
Be
And so that
hopeful
can include
to your mom and dad.
Yeah.
hydrocodone,
And if you do, it'll be a good job. Then, if you pray, you'll be good. Then,
So those class of 4, and they distribute. They give that out at doses that are acceptable. But the person's still addicted to it.
Correct. So
And they're bringing in so much money. They're raking in so much money that literally it's almost like you're a drug dealer.
And what I would like to address is the U.S. is 10% of the world's population.
sorry, I needed to get something. So now,
Prescriptions originate in the U.S.
And please
So what does that
take
tell us
their
about the
guidance
societal
and
expectation of pain and suffering, right? Is there in this society that
recital of Golobalo.
once you get in this loop of, hey, you find something that provides pain relief for 3 to 4 hours, and then you're reaching for something else, And
please protect your guidance and make Allah the best Allah.
Addressing the whole picture, right? Diet, lifestyle, mental health, etc.
I once read a study, or a summary of a study, where one city, they were like Belgium, another city were Italian. And the Italians had far better health, less complaints, the doctors hardly visit, everyone's living longer. The Belgians, he's always going, always visiting, they die young. So he started looking at diet, he started looking at, he didn't find anything different in the world. He started looking at a lot of things. He ended up with something non-medical, which was socialization. The Italians are socializing all the time. There's 3 to 4 generations in every household. They're very rarely alone.
So there's no concept of a nuclear family. It's literally, it takes
They're like blessings and Allah.
You see that in the way their family structure and their dynamics are, right?
He would say stuff like, the grandma and the grandson go to the baker. And they go to the baker to get bread, and they end up spending an hour chit-chatting along the way. Because, grandmas and grandkids and children have nothing to do, right? They take an hour chit-chatting along the way, talking to the people in the store.
Allah must be
And
the
he
best
said,
Allah.
I think that's the reason. They're physically healthier because their emotional element is healthier.
And that's an intangible that you can't put a price on, right? How do you quantify something like that?
The best Allah in the world. Please, the children be good and
For this kid,
learn the things that Allah has.
social interaction as they go with their grandparent.
Blessings. Allah will bless us,
And here's another one.
and we will bless Him.
This guy said
And He will give
depression,
us more and more.
it's like a ghost
And please, Allah,
of your memories.
make our
Imagine
guidance.
a ghost of your memories.
Like the good
All the
guidance.
bad things that happen in your life.
And
Can you hear him though? Here, I'll hold it for him. Let the boy play with the mic.
Okay.
What's your name, young man?
Dean.
Dean. Here, I'll
Sold the show. Everyone in the chat.
Oh, he sold a show.
Thank you, Don. The mic.
Okay, so yeah, he stole the show totally. All right, so he said that depression, it's like a ghost. of your bad memories, all the bad things that happen. He said, but the thing about it, it's slow, right? And as long as you're moving in life and doing something different, you don't think about the bad things that happen. You don't have time to. Because until you sit down and have nothing to do for like 3 weeks, like what happened to a lot of people in Corona, in the lockdown, is then that ghost catches up with you.
Correct.
And that's when you sit down and you start mulling all the bad things that happen and all the bad things that exist now.
Correct.
And then you get depressed. So one of the cures, I think, or the way to avoid grief and depression, just keep moving.
100%.
Not everything has to be examined and reconciled. Right? Like I had a guy totally did wrong to me 5 years ago. Why do I need to think about it? How is that going to change anything? I don't need to reconcile every single thing that happened in life.
Correct.
But the fact that I'm just too busy to think about it, right? That by itself is a cure.
Sure.
And that's why busyness is a cure. Stay. And old people, I heard, you can tell me if I'm wrong, old statistic. Number one reason old people get sick and die is grief.
Yes.
And the nursing home is literally a death sentence.
100%.
They sit there thinking about all the bad things
Correct.
that happens and are happening now.
Correct.
Whereas in the traditional, the Indians do this, I think the Chinese do this, the Africans do this, all traditional people. The grandparent, Quran tells us, إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرُ. When your parents when they reach old age with you, that means she'll be living with you in old age.
SubhanAllah.
At that point, the grandparent is busy and he helps relieve burdens. You know how busy regular people are today? What if you had an extra person who could do work for you? Who could pick up the kids, go to practice, pick up some groceries? Your life becomes easier.
Correct.
Right?
And then
he's happy.
Absolutely. And then along the way, look at the intangibles, right? The process of picking the child up. Imagine how many conversations or experiences that's going to create for that child.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we need to start thinking about, is how small actions can have such a profound impact as long as those actions are consistent and with honest intention.
And also, there's a generational transfer of everything. The politics transfer, religious beliefs, morals transfer, a history. Because what is grandpa going to do? Tell you stories. When I was young, this. So now the kid lives in a context.
Correct.
And if you never had a grandparent, you actually don't live in a context. Like, where did I come from? Right?
Correct.
What happened before me? How did I just popped in here? But what was the history before? There's mental health, emotional health. I live on a timeline. And both parties benefit. The first generation and the third generation benefit. The second generation benefits too.
Sure.
Like taking a lot of stress off my hands.
So, Doctor, how do we reconcile that in this culture where the focus isn't on the family unit, right?
Yeah.
But for us, and by our faith, we're taught about the importance of taking care of your elders, the priority that's given to parents. So, how do we reconcile that with this current in the society of, hey, we're seeing the mother and father unit erode, right, in our current society. So, how do we preserve that family element in this strong current that we're living in?
I think a married couple, they benefit from the peripheral planets that are around them, like the stars and planets around them. Like grandparents, probably it could be an X factor, could make things worse or better.
Correct.
Right? But the idea of having a lot of responsibilities forces people to work as a team. Like, I'm going to go with the book. I'm going to go with the book. What did Allah tell us to do? That's got to be good.
Agreed.
Right? That's got to be good. The masjid life, it heals a lot of things. Like Sheikh Muhammad Mutwali Shara, he says, if you took your watch to the watchmaker every day, it would never break. Because he's going to open it, dust it off, check on the pieces. Way before, if anything did happen, he fixes it. He says, when you pray, your maker's fixing you.
Agreed.
He's literally fixing you. If he's fixing you, he's fixing her.
It's a calibration 5 times a day.
Recalibrating. with
Agreed.
reality.
Yes.
When we're calibrated to reality, things are good. The reality is, dunya is temporary. Akhirah is the goal. That calibration cannot be divorced from what makes a healthy couple. Because one reason for depression is, oh my gosh, he has this bad habit. She's not as pretty as so-and-so. But if you're calibrated to reality, you realize, who cares? That's not a big deal. We're all leaving this dunya.
Absolutely.
That pretty woman that you think is so pretty, give her 10 years. Not to offend any woman, but give her 10 years. She's not going to be desirable. Dunya is like this, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're calibrated to reality, both sides, you think Allah's not going to take care of you too? Both of you are devoted. You give charity. You pray. Let's look at it from that. Why do I have to fix this relationship? Allah's going to fix it. He may fix it by giving me information about myself. That's Him fixing it. When she tells me I'm always late, that's Him. That's Allah telling me. You got to go?
Yeah, with Jummah time.
Oh, all right. You're locals or no? North Carolina?
North Carolina.
All right, we all got to go to Jummah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we are. Barakallahu feek.
Allah bless you. And
Ameen.
there's all your hard work in London and everything. It's
Ameen.
Jazakallah.
I appreciate your visit.
Thank you.
Barakallahu. Thank you.
Let me get your contact.
Yeah.
Do we all have to wrap up right now? We have another guest. Tafaddal. Yeah.
Hi. First of all,
Speak, young man. Who are you?
my name is Ibtihaj.
Ibtihaj.
Ul Haq.
Ibtihaj ul Haq. Ibtihaj is somebody who makes things glowing. That's in Arabic, right?
Yeah.
Someone who makes things glow.
Yeah.
Ibtihaj, the great glow. Bahija is someone beautiful, glowing. Okay, speak.
First of all, I've seen a lot of your YouTube videos, and I think it has been a source of inspiration for me to go back and see what the religion is all about.
هذا من فضل الله.
Yeah, and not just read the Quran but understand it. So why I came here today is ask you, because I've been trying to read Quran and read tafsir from one of my tutors, and I've been started on a journey because I'm a physician and I've been trying to apply for residency, do research. But I took a challenge upon me to memorize the Quran. So I started it last year, but I couldn't manage time. And I've heard that sometimes it's laziness, sometimes I feel overwhelmed.
Well, you have to decrease your dosage, that's all.
Yeah, and
15 minutes of hifz, 15 minutes of review.
Yeah, it feels like sometimes I don't even feel like doing it. It's like I feel what.
Are you a doctor?
I'm a doctor.
How did you do that? That's far more than hifz.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how.
Yeah.
You did it because when you came to medical school, there's 1,000 other people doing the same thing.
Yes.
So if you feel lack of motivation, find a hifz school and go there once a week to do your hifz.
Yeah.
Because when you see 400 other, 200, 150 other people doing hifz, you're going to be motivated.
Yeah. Because I've heard it over time that the laziness is like a waswas from shaitan.
No, it is a waswas from shaitan, but it will go away if you go to a building or room with 50 other people doing hifz.
Right.
That's the key. That's why I get doctors who have achieved a monumental task.
Yep.
Went to medical school, went to residency, but they can't do something, right?
Yes.
Why? Because you're trying to do it alone. You need to do it in a group.
Got it.
Even if you don't sign up for the school, show up and do it in their presence, right? And of a hifz. Where do you live?
I live near Kansas City, Missouri.
You got problems, brother. Is there a hifz school in Kansas City, Missouri?
I just moved there. I'm originally from Pakistan, so I just found a tutor, just continued with him online. But sometimes it's hard. It's like over the years, even through med school, when I try to have good ideas, try to build upon them, I got more anxious, have that severe anxiety where I feel like shutting down and leaving all the thing. And so how can I manage it better?
Managing what?
Different tasks in life, what I want to achieve in life in the medical profession, but managing all that while having a good work-life balance and not feel that clinical anxiety, like your heart pounding, you're becoming anxious?
I think
depressed?
anxiety is caused by desiring something that's limited and finite and fearing that you'll lose it. So the psychology is you have to psych yourself that it's gone, and you got to be okay with that, right? Not that you're quitting. You're not quitting, but you're psyching yourself. As the Shafi'i told us, this worldly life, somebody really needs to talk to the guy with the humming. We cannot have humming like that 3 days in a row. Yeah, but I hear it though. He's got the same loop of humming. No, I'm gonna go unplug it myself. This is nahi an al-munkar, right? Anyway, Shafi'i said, things of this world, in order to enjoy it, imagine you lost it. We're trying to chase something that's like a mirage, that's running away from us constantly. I believe that's one of the sources of anxiety, right? And why the people of Allah says they're not sad. They don't get sad. Meaning they'll get sad if their family dies, obviously. But they don't get this depression and anxiety. It's because they're not chasing something finite.
For example, if we have a failure in life or something we couldn't control, so it's natural for us to feel depressed, and sometimes that depression becomes so much that
it compiles.
Yeah.
I need to teach you a word in Arabic, in the Egyptian culture. Egyptians will understand this and highly appreciate the stress relieving purpose of this word.
Yes.
The word is tuz.
Tuz.
Tuz. Tuz means forget about it. I don't care. Okay? And it could have a more mild and a worse connotation. But the way I use it is that if I lose something of the dunya, it is of the dunya.
Got it.
Okay? Who cares? Obviously, there are certain things of great value that will make you put a dent in your mood, but no more than a dent. No more than a temp. Like Ibn Atta says, you will always have some sadnesses, some anxiety, some grief, but it has limits. Because we exist here knowing this is finite. It's coming and going, right? Succeed, you fail. It's always a mix. But you're leaving it. Why would I worry about something I'm leaving, right? I run around trying to be loved by everyone in the conference when I'm leaving. Probably never see half the people again, ever. What do I care, right? So that's the attitude of a mu'min. It's the attitude of the people who remember akhirah all the time. What the prophets have come except to show us about akhirah and make us remember the afterlife all the time. The pillars of Iman are ultimately three, right? And we'll wrap up with this to go off to the Jummah here. Jummah is not even obligatory upon us, but we'll go anyway. It's the Creator and the afterlife and the messenger that tells us about the afterlife. Angels, prophets, holy books are the messenger. They're in one, right? And the qada is of the attribute of the Creator, right? All-knowing, all-powerful. Stress relief. In Morocco, they have another word you should learn. Maktub.
Maktub.
Anything bad that happens, it's maktub. Qada of Allah. These are why does Allah tell us the sign of the awliya is that they do not have anxiety. Why don't I have anxiety? It's not random.
Tawakkal on Allah.
These are the reasons. This life is temporary. Anything bad that happens, yeah, it might be my fault. I'll learn my lessons, but it's all written from Allah. So there's no need to have anxiety. Good?
Yeah.
I'm not going to bill you a psychiatric invoice because this is the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Barakallahu feek, yo man. Where are you a doctor in Kansas City?
I'm applying for residency.
Applying for
My
residency?
wife is a resident in Kansas City, Missouri.
والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر والسلام عليكم. Well done, young man. Barakallahu feek.